Tibetan meditation has always proven very effective when it comes to combating with stress, depression and anxiety. With coronavirus affecting the lives of so many of us, practice of meditation has been proven beneficial in maintaining the peaceful state of mind and health. Tashdile, this is Sakina Bhatt and you're watching In Conversation with Tibettv. Today we will discuss on meditation and how helpful it is at this time of dealing with coronavirus. Joining me once again, I am glad to introduce you to Dhardo Rinpoche, meditation teacher of Drepung Loseling Meditation and Science Center. Tashdile Rinpoche, and welcome to our show again.
Tashdile.
Rinpoche, at this critical moment of our lives, many companies and even individuals are taking the initiatives of posting free tutorials on social media so that people at home are occupied and have their mind focused on something. Yet we see that this is not enough. People are still in fear of this virus. We have come to know that meditation plays a very important role in this situation. Tell us, what is meditation and what kinds of meditations are there?
So meditation is an approach to training your mind, just as working out is an approach to training your body. And the word meditation defines as familiarization or habituation. And the meditation culture has dates back to all the way to the ancient times. And people have always used meditation as a tool for self-realization and self-searching. And according to Tibetan Buddhism, meditation is considered to be a quintessential component to acquire wisdom and cultivate compassion, which are the two main factors to achieve Buddhahood or enlightenment. And so describing meditation is just like describing sports, actually, because there are so many different varieties of meditation practices and different mental skills required to practice them. But there are two, and in this age of when meditation is gaining popularity, there are types of meditation like concentration meditation and awareness meditation, where you are just aware of and being in the present. So these are like meditation practices which have gained huge popularity during these times. But there are two main meditation practices known as placement meditation, also known as concentration meditation, and analytical meditation, which encompasses all other forms of meditation. So the first one, the placement meditation, it involves in focusing on a particular object. It could be your breath, or it could be even an image or something that you're inclined to put your mind on. And it involves of putting your attention and being aware of the object and refocusing every time your mind tends to wander away from it. So that is the function of the placement meditation. And the second type of meditation we are going to talk about is the analytical meditation, which involves of thinking of a particular subject from different perspectives and using different logical reasonings and your own experience to gain a better understanding of it, and ultimately trying to obtain wisdom. So these are the two main types of meditation.
Rinpoche, what meditation should be opted by an individual to deal with the negative impact of coronavirus pandemic?
I think the meditation on compassion is very much relevant here, because of the negative impact caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Many people are scared and worried about their uncertain future. And compassion can help us envision negative circumstances in a positive light and help us transform them with using our compassionate power. And during these times, we are experiencing the individualistic culture in our society. And one of the main causes of negativity from that is being too much self-centered. So if we are too focused on ourselves and too engrossed in ourselves, then we tend to lose the sense of reality that we are actually uh, social beings, beings a part of a society which are interconnected and interdependent. And if we are in that denial of that reality, then we will be insecure, we will lose trust on others, and that makes us isolated and depressed and unhappy. And as the great Indian master Shantideva said in engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds, whatever worldly joy there is arises from wishing for others' happiness. And whatever worldly suffering there is arises from wishing for your own happiness. So that is, in fact, the reality. And we have been doing it the wrong way all the time. So if we are able to uh, channel the energy that we are using to focus on ourselves into cherishing others, and especially to the others who are more unfortunate and suffering more than us during this pandemic, and looking at them at a very basic human level and acknowledging them that they are in fact deserving of love and compassion as much as we are, and also acknowledging that they are the deserved recipients of happiness and elevation of suffering. So if we have that kind of positive outlook, and if we include this kind of meditative reflection into our meditation, then I think that we can go a long way with dealing this pandemic.
Rinpoche, as you mentioned that the practice of compassion has been considered essential. We have discussed this in our previous interview as well. Tell us how the practice of compassion helped calm our mind and what are its challenges?
So human beings are basically compassionate by nature. So if we are compassionate, then we will have inner peace, and an altruistic sense of concern for others provides us with tranquility and peace within ourselves. And I think the main challenge we can face in being compassionate is being biased, because we are in fact biased to our loved ones, and we generate hatred and anger towards our enemies because they harm us. And we neglect those who are neither our enemies nor our loved ones through conditioning. And that is just through pure conditioning. There is no intrinsic nature from their side to be our enemy or our friend. And that is just through pure conditioning. We are conditioned to be biased. We are conditioned to in that way. So if you can understand that it is also very much fragile, that our enemy can become our best friend tomorrow and our best friend can become our enemy today, so much, and it is so unpredictable and impermanent. So if we can think in this way, and I think definitely we will be less biased and be able to practice compassion in a better way. And if we can take the advice of the great saint Shantideva in engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds, of the emphasis of practicing exchanging of self and other for the cultivation of compassion, it'll be very beneficial. And that involves in the change of orientation of the attitude that we have right now of cherishing yourself and neglecting others, wherein we try to cherish others as we would cherish ourselves. And to do that, we have to see that the concept of self and others are just merely posited through a collection and continuum, and there is nothing intrinsic from our sides that that we are essentially different from each other. So if we can practice these special techniques, then I think that we will definitely be able to overcome the challenges of being more compassionate.
Rinpoche, how does meditation help in strengthening our body scientifically?
So meditation is being used as a health management tool nowadays. And meditation has proven to have many scientifically benefits. And out of that, on the behavioral level, we can see that meditation increases compassionate behavior as well as promotion of empathy. And on the emotional level, it helps us deal with destructive emotions, deal with anxiety. And on the cognitive level, meditation helps us gain better, faster cognitive processing and better memory power and so forth. And actually improves our immune system, making us more healthier. And there has been many researches done on that. And according to one research done from the Harvard Medical School, meditation is supposed to have the relaxation effect, as it is described, that it helps combat stress and fatigue. And also during other types of researches done in meditation and how it kind of has effects on the brain, we can see that different meditation techniques causes different responses. And for instance, on the meditation of compassion, we can see that areas of the brain connected with empathy has a tremendous neural activity there. And as well as dealing with the meditation of concentration, we can see that around the hippocampus area, which is the area of the brain where the memory is affiliated with, has tremendous neural activity and increase in gray matter, which shows that, in fact, there is something that is called a synchronization going on, a neural integration is happening there, which proves the fact of neuroplasticity, which is a process where thinking or meditation can externally change the formation and the structure of the brain.
Rinpoche, you know that there are many who have no prior experience to meditation. What advice would you give to a beginner in terms of concentration, the maintaining of the correct meditation posture, and the duration of meditation?
I think for beginners, it is important to consider a meditation as something very natural and comfortable, because it shouldn't appear to them as a task or a challenge, but rather as something very natural. And I think regarding to concentration, so on meditation, it involves in concentrating on a particular object. So it's very important to choose what kind of object that you're inclined to meditate on. It could be your own breath, it could be an image, or it could even be your own mind.
Rinpoche, is it always that we need an object to focus on while meditation?
Yes, well, there is no set criteria that demands to be said to be to fit in the description of being an object of meditation, because it could be a form, or it could be something formless as your own mind. So there's no set criteria for that. As long as you're inclined and as long as you're determined to choose that as the object, it is fine to do so. And talking about the posture, according to the great Indian saint Kamala Shila in the second stages of meditation, he talks about the importance of postures, meditation postures, where you have to find a comfortable place without distractions, and also sitting in the cross-legged posture, also known as the lotus or the full lotus or the half lotus posture. And your spine should be straight. You should have that kind of composure, and your spine and your shoulders to be straight. Your eyes should not be closed, nor it should be open too wide. It should be fixed on the tip of your nose. And your mouth and your lips should be in their natural positions. And also your tongue should be touching the close of the front teeth. And your breathing, in terms of breathing, your inhalation and exhalation should be as natural as possible. It shouldn't be forced. It should be natural and spontaneous as they are. And your attention should be directed inwards, and your body shouldn't be swaying back and forth. It should be bent. So it is very important to have the correct and appropriate composure during meditation. And talking about the duration of meditation, it is suggested that you have a short duration, but with better meditation quality and repeated sessions, so that you are able to identify the flaws and faults in your own meditation, and so that you will have a more lucid and meaningful experience from that.
Rinpoche, you know that it is not an easy job to concentrate, and for a beginner there will be challenges, especially in terms of concentration. So how can they overcome such challenges?
So for a beginner, when we tend to practice meditation on concentration, we are trying to achieve single-pointed concentration, or also known as serenity in English, and shamatha in Sanskrit. And for that, we actually need to focus on the object and try to put our attention and awareness on that object without any distractions. So in order to do that, we will be facing two obstacles known as excitement and laxity. And what they do is, excitement is a type of mind which distracts you from keeping your attention on a specified object. It tends to wander your mind off to another pleasant sensory object. So this is one of the obstacles. And the other obstacle that we are talking about is laxity. And laxity is actually comes from inattentiveness. It is a mind which is slacky or inattentive. And because of that, that leads to boredom, and that leads to unstabilized meditation and lethargic behavior. So to combat those, we have to use mindfulness and as well as introspection, because mindfulness helps us prolong that image in our mind, to prolong that experience and refocus every time we tend to wander away from it. And introspection is another very important component, because that helps us to recognize any faults. It acts like a watchman, recognizing any faults or flaws in the meditation. And if there's any kind of behavior that is not firm enough or not lucid enough, then introspection sees to that. So it is very important to implement two of these antidotes in your meditation, and recognizing the faults at the right times and dealing with them with the right action, I think, is the prime thing to do here. So I think that is what I suggest to the beginners.
Thank you, Rinpoche, for your knowledge on meditation, and it's really nice to have you on Tibettv once again. Thank you for being in our show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode of In Conversation with Tibettv.